Love to stay on this, but they're not getting to yet. Not a nice start to the morning. My birthday today, and was just coming down to the farm. It's absolutely peeing it down with rain. It's miserable. It's absolutely disgusting. And coming along the road, and a very kind lorry driver decides to absolutely soak me from head to toe. Sponges are going into some of the pure Texels today. So I'm going to sponge half of them today and then half of them tomorrow. But as you can see, some of the fat lambs have broken through the fence. So it'll be a case of sort them out first, pick my first. That'll just be as they come up the race. Texels for sponging, and then I'll do the rest tomorrow. Obviously dad drives it everywhere, so he's still got that, but I don't know. Classic, they always go the wrong way. That'll do. Maybe I should be spending some money on gates for here as opposed to on this. So this is going to be a wee bit faffy now just because these lambs have mixed. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sponge the first 20 odd Texels that come through, and then I'll keep them separate because obviously I won't need them again tomorrow, and then shed the lambs out and put them back to the field they're meant to be in. That is the plan, I think. So I'm just putting on my gloves. I've got a bucket of hot water here which has got disinfectant in it, so that'll be for cleaning out the applicator after every yow. Here are the sponges. There's a car just in here. These are the sponges that are going inside the yows. So that'll squeeze into the applicator, and then you'll be left with a string obviously hanging out. Turns out the car was a surprise visit from one of my good friends who was dropping off a wee goodie bag and this delicious cake. So make sure the strings are down like so, and then I've just got the applicator here in the water after the last one. So just squeeze the sponge in like so, because obviously we need the tails to be down at the bottom, and then push it up to the top, make sure the strings are still down, and then that's ready to insert into the yow, and then you just push that white bit up till that gets to there, and yeah, hope for the best. Got the applicator, strings are down, so just lift up her tail and then gently push it in, white bit pushed in, pull the whole lot out, and then you're left with the wee strings. Another great use for the Tafari, because it just holds them nice and still, just at that right height. Popping these in. so just be really careful with her because obviously she's never had lambs running before. So again, just go nice and slowly. So these sponges cost, I think it's around £3 something each. You can get another thing which is called Cedars, and they are slightly easier to put in, and they're obviously not as nasty when you're having to pull them out, because obviously you can pull these out after they've been in for 12 days. But yeah, I've worked these all the time and I don't find them, so I've just stuck with these. Because yeah, your cedars are £5 something I think each. So there's the cedars. Personal preference. For these, some prefers the cedar. Whatever works for your setup. So these will stay in now for 12 days. Then they'll get pulled. Then they get jabbed with EMSG. And tups go in like the following day, like 24 hours after something cool. So I usually sponge everything, but because I've got quite a lot of sponging this year, I am doing it in 2 batches because I'm also a wee bit late for tups. Obviously, you can only use certain ones because they could be fathers to some of these yows, they could be brothers, they could be sons of some of these still. So obviously I need to use non-related tups. So hoping to go to Kelso, get tups, and then this lot of sponges will be used for the following day. So hopefully 2 days after Kelso I'll have tups and then I can put them in. I mean, it's quite a gamble, but what can I do? I need these yows to be sponged. It's too late otherwise. We will wait and see what we do. Roxy out. I mean, there's such a huge selection at Kelso. There is definitely going to be tups for everyone, but it just might mean that I have to pay a little bit more than I would like to. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I've been trying to buy tups already. There's been a couple of sales, but Roxy out. My budget didn't stretch far enough. Yeah, we started doing sponging probably about 5 years ago now, maybe. Just because our Texel flock was slipping further and further, and because we keep these tup lambs to use on our commercial flock, it just meant that they weren't as big because they were getting born later. So I've been pulling that forward. Oopsie! So these girls now lamb at the sort of start of February. So these are the ones that I've done so far. I've done 18, and just looking at them, most of them are actually gimmers. So it's just the way it's worked. That's fine. So this little legend obviously is in her retired era. Her leggies. Good girl. So she goes and hangs out with the yow lambs now, because obviously we're not needing her to get tupped. So she just chills with the yow lambs, keeps them happy, and then once the tups come out, she goes back with the yows, because she sometimes doesn't enjoy the company of the yow lambs, let's put it that way. It's a little sass pot. Hey leggies! Well, it's a horrible, wet, miserable day. Just like it was for the whole of tupping last year. Great. So this is my early batch of yows here. And as you can see, I've got Ramenco's Sheep Super Blocks. Used these for the first time last year, and we had an absolutely incredible scan. We put these blocks out for the first time, and then I also used a different bolus last year, which I'll talk more about in a separate video. But yeah, put these blocks out last year. The early yows definitely got the benefit of them more, I would say, because obviously they were tupping earlier, so they got more of them. But yeah, absolutely fantastic product. Full of protein, full of minerals. It's full of fish oil as well, which is really important for fertility in the yows. And yeah, it's just an all-round fantastic block. I could stand here for ages and give you a sales pitch on it, but I mean, it speaks for itself. These guys, 2022, scanned at 170%, round about that. Last year they scanned up at 215. So yeah, I mean, that's just one example of how amazing it is. Yeah, I absolutely love them. So I'm just putting the 2 out now. Teaser will be going in with this girls the next few days probably, and then followed by tups 2 weeks after that. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that they're in tip-top condition for the tups going in. So starting off with these, for the best results you have to feed them 2 weeks pre-tupping, and then I think it's for 8 weeks after that. So yeah, very kindly been given some blocks again this year by Ramenco to give out to yows, and yeah, they're very happy about it. Okay thing about being soaked, I'm dry underneath, but the only okay thing is that the rain's warm. Phone just about fell there. The rain is warm. That's the only good thing about this. It's actually running down my sleeve currently. Yay. Different morning for day 2 of sponging. Taking the second half in, so we'll get their sponges put in, and then we'll be heading back out to the grass. Lie down!
So these are all the yow lambs that will be run over until next year, and then I'll go through them again and select the ones that I'll be keeping for our own flock.
Some of the earlies in here, so going through them today and bulleting them. So I've done the FEC test for them because I normally do a wormer and fluke pre-tupping, but tested them and they're completely clear of worms. So that's really good. So today we are using these essential boluses, so with copper. So they're fairly substantial. We used them the first time last year, got on well with them, so I'm going to use them again this year. And then this is the applicator that they go in. So if I here, push the bolus in, and that's it loaded, ready to dose the ewes, bolus the ewes. Just fresh out these two. Have them both outside ourselves. Do you want to come? You coming? Too many boots in here, Squeak. Yeah. Let's go. Texels are coming in this morning for the first lot to get their sponges pulled. First round of sponges are pulled. All still in and came out very easily, which is really good. So giving them all their jab of PMSG as well. Leave them 24 hours and then the boys will be going in. So there's 13 that I've just pulled just now. Then I'm going to pull another 13 tonight. So tops will be going in with this morning's 13 tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow night we'll be going in with the ones I pulled tonight, and then pulling another 13 tomorrow morning and tomorrow night, and then that'll be going to the top Monday morning and Monday night. So yeah, it's just a lot of logistics, but I'm hoping that this way it'll work a lot better. In previous years I've pulled all the sponges at once and put the tops in batches of 10, and last year I think I had one top. Last couple of years I haven't had a lot of luck with tops, so I'm hoping that by doing it this way it takes a bit of the pressure off the tops. It gives them a smaller number to do over a longer period of time. It's still quite intense obviously, but they should manage that. So yeah, we'll wait and see. This is the most amount that I've sponged. Normally it's just I think the first year it was like 30 or 35, and then last year it was 45, and now this year it's 53. So I'm getting more, but yeah. So they'll see the tops the next couple of days, and then they'll get tops left with them as well if they repeat. So yeah, like tomorrow and Monday, it's just to see that they are cycling really. You know, you don't know until the second cycle if they've held or not, obviously, to the first ones. So yeah, it's the second cycle when it comes to repeat time is the nervous days when you're waiting to see if and what repeats. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, really pleased with how they're looking, really pleased with how the sponges have pulled so far. So round 1 of 4 complete. This isn't the most pleasant of jobs, obviously, but it's a job that needs to be done. So you can see here I'm putting the sponges once they're pulled into a bucket, and they will be getting taken straight to the bin. Obviously these are a massive danger to dogs or other animals that might try and consume these. So always try and do our best and tidy up behind me. Got the new boys home. So I went down to Kelso to pick up these boys. A very expensive sale, but I'm really happy with the tops I got. Managed to get these 4 averaging at 1400. So I think we've got some nice power, nice strong bones, good lengths, nice bit of shape at their back end. So I'm really looking forward to getting these guys put to work in the coming weeks. So got the top harness here with the first colour on, so I've gone for green this year. Just going to put them on the boys, and then I've got them all in different batches here, so split the first sponging into 2 groups, and they're going to get the tops, and then next lot is this lot out here. That lot's tomorrow morning, and that lot's to get sponges pulled this afternoon. So yeah, lots to remember. But hopefully they say it should be like 24 to 48 hours after pulling the sponges, so should hopefully get some action in this lot this morning or this afternoon. So you can see this ewe here looks like she's standing. Harness is on. 1 has been tucked already, so I'm just going to leave them now. I'm going to separate the 2. I've just put them here just now just to get them sorted, but I'm going to go separate them, put 1 to the other side so the tups aren't worrying about what the other one's up to, so he can focus on his job at hand. So I'm just going to go and do that, and then put that lot out to the field that I don't need just now, and yeah, leave them a while and I'll come back and hopefully they've been busy. First couple groups of sponges are coming round now, so we've got 3 tups in this group, 4 tups sorry in this group out of the 6. So, see their wee flicky tails there, so that's good. In this group we've got 5 out of his 7 have got marks on them, so they're just coming in as well, I would say. So everyone in the first round of sponge pulling is now tucked. So time to swap. I need this tups from the first go yesterday there to go in with round 3 now. So this is the other half of round 1. Go on, girls. See, she's still in season a wee bit. So in terms of when they come into season, I think it's usually like between 24 and 48 hours after pulling the sponges. So I've been finding the likes of this second lot in here, they were pulled like 8 o'clock Saturday night, so 8 o'clock last night would have been 24 hours, and then this morning it's say like 8 o'clock, so 12 hours after that. So they're sitting about that 36 hours seems to be sort of when they're really starting to come on. So for my third batch, they were pulled yesterday morning, so it'll probably be this afternoon, really tonight, before I see anything with them. And then I pulled some. I was late last night, we were out with some friends, so I was slightly later pulling the last batch, so they probably won't be really in season till this time tomorrow, because they were pulled at 10 o'clock last night, so 10 o'clock tonight, so it'll be like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So yeah, but I'm like, you know, that's still, well, they're tupping like last night and this morning, so you know, that's still quite good time frame for lambing. I can see a couple of tups here fighting. I've just put them together because I'm waiting to take them out, but I can see them boxing each other, so I'm just going to go deal with that before there's any injuries. So as I was saying, it's I don't actually mind that it's a wee bit spaced out like that. It just gives the tups obviously a wee bit of a break in between as well, because it can be quite intense for them. I mean, they're only getting small numbers, which they should easily manage, but you know, I always just worry that they maybe favour one yow over the rest or whatever. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the boys are active, which is good. And they're obviously all cycling, which is good. Sponges all stayed in, so that was obviously a bonus too. And no mishaps with that. So this is the first round, so I'm just going to go and take out these two tups, give them a bit of a break, because they'll be going in again with yesterday morning's pooled sponges, so they shouldn't really be cycling until later on, as I've said. So I'll give the tups a bit of a chance to rest, sleep maybe. So, but it was a nice fresh night last night, so a wee touch of frost, so that'll hopefully have helped as well. A fair bit of activity going on in that top pen. They're all swarming around the top. So the idea of the harnesses on the tups is so that when they mount them like this, you can see he's left a nice big green smudge mark on her. So I know that she's been tupped this time. So if she doesn't hold, you know, that you start to question, is it the tup, is it her? So obviously we want them to all be tupped. So you see this boy's going for another go here. So we obviously want them to all have green bums, and ideally all hold to this first cycle, but realistically that's not going to happen. So yeah, obviously it'd be nice if they did all hold to this cycle, and they all had lots of lovely twin lambs, but unfortunately it doesn't work like that. So yeah, but the idea is that, so I know that the yow's been cycling, I know that she's been tupped, so I can then gauge if she holds, then I'll know exactly when she's going to lamb, or if she repeats, then I can keep an eye on if it was maybe a tup issue, or if it's maybe been a yow issue, because obviously you need, you know, it's just going on in the background here, you obviously need, you know, you need the yow to be in tip-top condition, you need the tup to be in tip-top condition. So yeah, but at least I can see that the tup has tupped her and she has been cycling, so that sort of rules out that question. So what else? That's the third pooling of sponges now are all tupped in this group, and I think there's definitely one there without green on her in this lot, and then he's just tupped another one there. So they're just, I would say they're just coming into their time now. No, that's the second pooling of sponges. Yeah, that's the second pooling of sponges. Number 3 are just coming into their thingy now. So this boy's actually been quite busy. So you can see there's a couple there. A couple there not marked, but everything else has got marks on them. So he's been busy. He only went in maybe 4 hours ago. And then the other side, he's got, you can see here, 1, 2. He's got 3 out of his 6 marked. But there's still plenty of time, as I say, they're just sort of coming into it. So yeah, so far, so good. Everything is working away nicely. They've all got food and water, obviously, because especially the tups, they've been working hard. So I'm just making sure that everybody's happy enough, keeping topped up in water, because it's quite warm today actually in the sun, now that the sun has finally appeared. But don't get me wrong, it was absolutely Baltic this morning. Barley was sprayed off 2 days ago, so hopefully the weather stays reasonable and we'll get that in once it's had its time after spraying. So far progress is going okay. When I pulled all the sponges, I was happy with all the sponges, you know, they're all still in, because before I have had some that have like lost them for whatever reason, but everybody still had them and they all come out fine. So yeah, so far so good, but I don't want to say too much because it is obviously very early stages. Just up checking my Texel Yao lambs. So these were all born February this year, plus the legend that is Legs. So she stays with them because obviously we don't tup Legs anymore. She just lives her best retired life, and she stays with the Yao lambs just whilst the tups are in with the Texel Yaos, and then she comes back to be with the Yaos because obviously when they're in lamb they get treated a wee bit better. So have to look after you Leggies, don't we? Hey Leggies! Hey Leggies! Good girl. Hey doll. Hello. Good girl. This year, as you can see, we have 20 Yao lambs and 24 tup lambs. So personally I think they're a nice even batch of lambs. That to me is a result from the sponges, because obviously we're, you know, getting the Yaos all synchronised at the same time. Therefore they are hopefully holding this first cycle, as I've mentioned, and then lambing all within a few days. So this is one of the reasons why we want to make sure that you know, I like doing the sponges, is because it gives you this nice even batch of lambs, and also it means that they're all sort of the same age for treatment, you know, they're all within a few days of each other. So to me it works well. It does add a wee bit of a cost, but when we're trying to breed our own replacements, you know, we're needing them as level as we can. A nice batch of Yao lambs or tup lambs for going back into the flock. So yeah, personal preference, you've got to do what works for your business, and right now that seems to be working quite well. It's nice just to have them all lambed within that sort of week of each other. Just keeps that a batch, it's nice and separate, keeps them out of the way from the main lambing, especially if we get weather like we had this year. With this weather, perfect. So just giving the early mules a shift. They were on that hill over there. They would absolutely love to stay on this, but they're not getting to yet because they're still a week out from the tups going in. You can see Timmy the teaser is over there. So just getting them onto slightly better ground, but not real good silage aftermath yet, and giving them a couple more fresh sheep super blocks. Gonna go and pop them up onto this hill up here, which is still slightly better, but just not as good as what will be going on next week, because they are large barrels at the moment. They're in very good nick. Just about everyone now in pool 2 and pool 3. One over there actually in pool 3 is not tupped yet, so that's I'm really happy with that. That's really good. So I'm going to put all the ewes out to the field with a couple tups. I'm going to batch them all up and put them out with a couple. And then the other 2 tups I'm going to take up to the other field where the last pooled sponges are. But I'm going to pop the tups with them just now, and then I'll see what's happening in the morning. I just don't like having them in the pens for too long. It's now the waiting game. We now have to wait and see how busy they have been. In case you're maybe wondering why I haven't put the tups out to the field with the ewes in the previous lots for tupping, it's simply just because they had to be swapped around in different batches at different times. So by having them out in a field made it trickier for catching them, gathering them up, swapping groups, etc. And it also then meant that we needed, 8 different fields for all the different lots. So practically that just wasn't sensible either. But because this is the last group, they will get to tup them outside on the grass. So this is the last batch of Texels now. So this is the last lot that I pulled the sponges of. And these were the ones that I was slightly later pulling because we were out. So I didn't think they would really be coming into season till this morning, but I would say they've been busy. So I think there's just one that's not marked at the moment. I think. Hey boys! So we'll see. Crayons are quite worn down, I think, but you get an idea. So yeah, it's just the one that's not tucked at the moment. A bit of a sore foot, lass. So I think that concludes this video on sponging the Texels. If you've got any questions at all, please always feel free to pop them in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. It's now the dreaded wait to see if anyone repeats. I'll leave them a wee while, and then once they get closer to repeating, I'll take the tups in, change the crayon colour, on their harnesses, and then I'll know who repeats. There's 53 here. 52 of the 53 are tupped currently, so we'll wait and see, but obviously they are just sort of coming into their heat now, so hopefully she'll get tupped as well. Realistically, there is going to be somebody repeat. Some maybe just won't hold at all for whatever reason, but it's not going to be 100% success rate. Like, it's just not. It would be absolutely amazing and I would love it, but it's just not. So I'm trying to be realistic about it. But obviously the less repeats that we get, the better. Anyway, I'll keep you all posted near that time as well, obviously. But for now, if you have any questions at all on the Texel sponging, or just anything, please feel free to always pop it in the comments below. And I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please give it a wee like and subscribe. Check out the merch store for anything that you might be looking for. And we shall see you in the next one. Hopefully, the weather will still be this wonderful. Thanks again.